My name is Tristan Chari. I'm one of the 2025 Fagan Leadership Program Scholars. I'm really excited and happy to introduce our video. This is a story about perseverance, faith, and perhaps most importantly, leadership. So what we invite you all to do as we watch this video together is to really step outside your shoes and think about all different forms of leadership. Sam's story is extremely inspiring, the way that he inspires greatness in himself as well as others. So I'm really happy to present our video titled The Power of Purpose, the Sam Hawley story.
I'm Lisa Hawley. I'm Sam Hawley's mom. Sam was my wild man. Sam was a big partier forever, for years. He was running and having fun. And he had a couple of weeks where he didn't feel quite right, where he called me and said, my head feels funny. I feel like I've got a headache, and I never get a headache. I feel a little bit lightheaded. And then he called and said, something is bad, and then he was gone from the phone. And he had a big seizure, and that is the day that we found out he had a mass on his brain. And we made some phone calls from Wilmington, from the hospital there, and got him to Duke.
And it was quite the experience to pull up to a hospital with luggage, to not really know how long we were going to be there, and not really know what the experience was going to be. There was definitely fear and a lot of anxiety within. So that right there was why I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this. I didn't have the courage. I just kept going over in my mind, like, why me? Why did this happen? How did this happen? I love life. I love living. I love what I do. I love who I am. And I love the people around me. And so it was just like, to live, this is what I have to do. I did sit with the PA and ask him questions like, why me? Because he knows all about it. And he was there for me the whole time, went with me to get the MRIs that night. And so I did find comfort within that. For someone that has experience, someone that's been through it with other patients, I know that he was with me that night for a reason, for a purpose, and I think he knows that too. Once they do wake you up after you have been opened up and the tumor is there, that they start to remove it, they wake you up to make sure that nothing is touched in the wrong way that affects your motor skills, your speech, your ability to move, pretty much. But I could like hear, felt like I was at a dentist hearing that just being sucked out, and the tumor was being removed. And everything went smooth, thankfully. Surgeon came out and told the family everything went great. It was definitely great for the family to hear. We got up and they let me kind of walk the ICU floor with the PA who was with me the night before, that just helped me with so much of it. And we walked the floor, and I needed that. I needed to just kind of show myself that, I could do that. We're like, we think it's a glioblastoma. It's not good. It's an aggressive cancer. And so to hear that was, it was hard. It was really hard to hear that, because then you just don't know, like, if you're gonna live. It's a moment that you really understand how precious life is. My family, my friends, they didn't know if I was gonna live, and so to know that as well was hard. When we left the hospital and went to this house that we were staying in, I remember telling my family and friends that were there that I was gonna change my life that day. We were in a cul-de-sac, so I just started walking this cul-de-sac. It was hot out, I won't forget that. Just no shirt, had just this like big bandage on the side of my head, blood, so I'm sure people saw me like, what's going on here? But I just was walking this circle. That why was starting to fade away, and it was more like, this is for a purpose. This happened for a purpose. Started understanding, like, this has a meaning behind it, and I want to discover what that meaning is. That's just really what made me change, and something that I needed. It's something that I would never change to this day, because I'm happy and I'm glad that something like that turned my life around for the better. I knew with all that stress and anxiety, I just wanted to run. It's one of the first things that came up after doing that walk. 2 weeks after surgery, I started running a really light run, kind of just a jog. I would come in and I would feel so good after that. Like it felt a relief of stress, a relief of pressure. That feeling right there was a game changer, because when I would run and come back, I would feel comfort and peace. And those thoughts, I could process everything a little bit better. Running became a replacement for a lot of addictions that I did have. We started chemo and radiation about 6 weeks after the surgery. And that whole time I was running. When we went in to do the radiation to get that mask fitted, it's a big part of the journey too, because it was something when I had to go do radiation, I had to see this mask every time, and that put fear in me too, hearing and understanding what radiation was, and so that fear kind of came in with that as well. This is how I'm going to do it. Doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how terrible I feel. I'm going to run every day. So many times when I would be on the couch or in my bed, and my parents would be like, please just rest today, just rest. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. One of the days I'll never forget, it was such a special day for me. And I felt horrible. I just felt so bad and was so nauseous and just was pretty much couch ridden. And my parents were begging me to just stay, and I was just like, I'm not going to do that. I went out and just started this jog, and on the jog, like, it just led from a jog to like a full bore just sprinting. And the first mile I felt horrible, but my just pace was just increasing in a really strong direction. And when I got to about mile 3, there was these 2 big bald eagles that they're never really seen and on the coast, and these 2 big bald eagles swept down really close, I'll never forget. And then when they did, they swept right up in front of me, and they like did this loop around me a couple times, and they were making that just beautiful like screech sound that they make, that call. And I just kind of stopped and just embraced that. And there was these obstacles. They were flying through these trees and these obstacles and coming back down right over me. And it really made me understand that life, you have obstacles. You have these things that you have to go through, around them, over them. There's ways to do it, but you have to have that mindset to do it. And God sent those eagles to me that day for a reason, for a purpose, because when you see eagles, it's in the scripture, of you mount up like wings of eagles, and you go strength and not weary, and you walk and you don't faint. And I ended up doing 5 miles that day. Stopped drinking and I stopped smoking. I stopped drug use, and I decided that moment I was going to start a run in my hometown. And that moment, the name immediately popped up, and I called it the Warrior's Path. And we put together a run on my 30th birthday, Saturday, December 2nd, and we raised $62,000 and we donated it to research for brain tumors. And so we had like 300 people at that event, and it was an amazing event. Warrior's Path is a charity, but we're in the process of turning it into a foundation, and it's something that I know is a part of my purpose. Living life with a purpose is it's a blessing. I signed up to do a Spartan race in Atlanta. The Spartan race, I look at it a lot like life. Like I did the 5K, but there's 20 obstacles. So every obstacle that I went through, I just went full bore into them, and I ended up getting second. And it felt great. Like I needed that. I did another one a couple months after that, and same thing. I was like, this is something that, and I'm gonna be the warrior that I am. And I went out there and I did it, and I won. And I had 120 people, and I got first place in it. We got up there on the stage and everything, and you get your award. My dad told him that I was on chemo, and they were very proud. The medical team was amazing. Like every single one of them, from the nurses to the PAs, doctors, the surgeon, all of them, they were so kind and helped me with every question that I had, and helped me with every moment that I needed someone right there to be with me. It was amazing. The PA was so there for me, and I've never experience anything like that, because I felt so much comfort from him and understanding from him, and the questions that I needed, he gave me a great explanation.
He went on a Wednesday and he had surgery on a Friday. Sam wouldn't have gotten through the day that we were in that hospital 2 days before surgery without his PA. That man means more to our family than I even have words for. And he stayed with Sam on the night that they were doing all the tests. He held his hand. He was right by his side. He took my place, and I wasn't able to do that. And his PA, and I call him his PA because he's like a family friend and like a family member to us. We love him. He has stood by Sam's side the whole year and 4 months of this journey, and I don't know where Sam would be without him. There's no words for what a parent goes through when your child gets a diagnosis like this. And at first we were too afraid to ask questions, and we just kind of sat, and I did my own research behind the scenes, and that was terrifying. And his PA comforted us every time we had an appointment. Through everything, I can't say enough about the man that was Sam's PA and what he did for our family. He didn't just do it for Sam, he did it for our whole family. Pretty sure I'll never be the same, but Sam would tell you that he wouldn't change anything that's happened to him in the last year. And I think that the night that he got to the hospital where he had his surgery, his PA helped him realize that when he was freaking out, panicked. This amazing man, Sam's PA, I don't think he even realizes what a special, amazing man he is. He saved my family. And I would just tell every parent that I have been on my knees every day. Every single day. Multiple times a day. Praying for Sam, praying for us to have peace. The most important thing that's gotten us through this experience, it's God first, and the people in the hospital that have been kind to us and good to us. And Sam's PA was that person for us who made this bearable.
It definitely made me understand, like, how health, it's so important. Like, our health is so important. Going from a patient, I just started to, like I said, I just started to really, not like I've changed it all. I eat healthy. I exercise daily. I put God first, and I pray, I run, I do all these things differently. And my life is so much better. So much better. Like, I'm glad I went through what I went through. Because if I hadn't, I'd be in a pit. Or I'd be in rehab, or I would be somewhere terrible. Or dead. From overdosing, or from just cirrhosis of the liver, something. My story and how I handled it, the definition of a purpose. It's the definition of a blessing and a miracle. And I've been seeking this forever. I just couldn't get to it because I was so stuck. It's not about my face being like the face of this. It's I could be like Batman and no one know who I am, but still do this stuff to just inspire people and to motivate people.
And we all face these challenges, but when we embrace them, that's where it's special. That's when you feel your true self and become the person that you were supposed to be. Those are the moments. I was scared, I was discouraged, and I was scared I was gonna die. You know, brain cancer has taught me a lot about life and about who I am and who I've become to this day. And there's a few things that I hold close to my heart. There's 3 things. Prayer. I pray to God every day from the moment I wake up, that I get to wake up, put 2 feet on the floor. Motivation from what I saw there, from the people that are there, from what I went through. And discipline. Because when the motivation's not kicking, the discipline is what carries you through and what allows you to achieve your goals and your dreams that you're chasing.
I'm so grateful to be where I'm at now. I met the woman of my dreams, and her name's Taylor, and we are getting married, and my life has just changed for the better, and it's just how I have had this rebirth, putting God first in my life and changing everything that I do. I'm a personal trainer now and a certified nutritionist. My fiance, she's a trainer as well. We've got like we're a good team of helping people, and we're just excited to be doing this together. And
so my name is Jackson Olson. I'm a third-year resident in obstetrics and gynecology here at Duke. When I was thinking about my time with Sam and my time in the Fagan Leadership Program, I thought to myself, what was the big takeaway that I had? And my big takeaway is resilience. Thinking about Sam's story in the healthcare field, transitioning to be a healthcare leader, he had to show an immense amount of resilience. We've heard from really incredible speakers during the Fagan Leadership Program, and one thing that I feel like connects them all is resilience. We work in a really, really hard field that takes a lot from us and requires a lot of resilience. And I found that the leadership skills that were taught in the Fagan Leadership Program have provided me with an avenue to be more resilient. And it's something that I will remember for a long time.
Yeah, so when we were first deciding what we wanted to spend our time doing with this project, I think we all knew we wanted to do something very meaningful to us and impactful. And when we heard Senthil tell us Sam's stories, I think we all kind of immediately knew, a light went off, that we really needed to share this story for a multitude of different reasons, but really the value and the power of leadership from a whole different perspective. For me, this was an incredible experience, meeting and working with Sam, as well as the Fagan program in general. I know it has instilled lessons that I will take with me in my career going forward, both personally and professionally.
My name is Olivia O'Reilly. I am an orthopedic surgery sports medicine fellow. So I'm in my 6th year of training and about to enter the world as an orthopedic surgeon, full-fledged. So I've really enjoyed this process and this program. I think what I take most from both the project as well as the Fagan Leadership Program is that leadership can come from anywhere. It can come from an opportunity. It can come from a set of circumstances that you never thought you would enter. I know Sam probably never imagined his journey and how it's turned out, but he's turned it into this, this very beautiful thing and has gone on to inspire other people. And I think that's what good leaders do. They take the opportunities given to them, whether it's born out of unfortunate circumstances or a positive circumstance, and really transform the world. And so I think that's what Fagan leaders will do as they finish this program, and hopefully I can add to that equation as well.
I'm Carmen. I'm a 4th year medical student. I'll be starting my OBGYN residency this summer. And my most cherished experience of this Fagan Leadership Program has been getting to know Sam and getting to work on his documentary with my team. He's been a transformational leader and an example of how to go through any challenge, embrace a diagnosis that otherwise would have been life-shattering, and transform not just yourself but those around you and inspire action. Sitting in the same room as Sam when he was telling his story, it really captured me. He's a living example of not having any barrier be too big for you when you have a purpose that's written on your heart. And that's why he's a transformational leader, because he's shown that he can bring willpower, his own willpower, across any barrier. He's been creative and humble, kind along the way, and really transformed himself once he found his purpose to help others through this life-changing diagnosis. What motivated us to translate Sam's story was to be able to show who is the true leader in a healthcare team, and the leader can look in many different ways and hold many different roles. And Sam is an example of a patient leader and someone who took his diagnosis with so much grace and allowed that to transform himself into a leader and bring so many people up with him as he was fighting his diagnosis. And I think that inspires everyone around him, and that's what also makes him so special.
I'm Senthil Radhakrishnan. I'm the Administrative Chief and Clinical Neurosurgical PA at the Department of Neurosurgery at Duke University Hospital, and I was fortunate to do the Fagan Leadership Program. Leadership is not always born in boardrooms. Sometimes it's born in the depth of adversity, and Sam's journey reflects leadership born in such a way. Sam's journey demonstrated critical thinking. He chose transformation over despair when he was dealt with a devastating diagnosis of brain cancer at the age of 29. His journey itself underscores the power of teamwork. He built bridges between patients, the healthcare providers, and the community. Sam's journey was a masterclass in emotional intelligence. He transformed pain into purpose. He turned his vulnerability into strength. Throughout his journey, Sam kept his word. He promised to live better, and that is a sign of integrity. He quit substances, he embraced fitness, and he even returned back to school to overcome his health illiteracy. Becoming a fitness instructor and a nutritional advisor wasn't just a career move. It was a declaration of accountability and authenticity, and that speaks volume for Sam's integrity. Well, Sam's leadership style is not about being perfect, it's about being present. As healthcare providers, Sam's journey illustrates it's not just what we do, it's why we do it and how we do it. And just like Sam, let's all lead with courage, conviction, and compassion.
For the battle I won, I know there are countless others still fighting. This is for them. Find the warrior within. And never give up.